Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Nielsen. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to learn about opposites. Let's look up here on the screen together and find out what opposites are. What are they? What are opposites? Opposites are things that are very different from each other. Opposites can be found everywhere. Understanding the concept of opposites is important because it helps us learn to compare two different things. Learning opposites helps our ability to describe things. We can find opposites in the size of things, shape of things, textures, remember that means how something feels, taste, temperature, location, where something may be, sounds, nature, etc. Here are some ways that we see opposites. Let's look at these lists that I have here. Here we have two lighthouses. Now they're not opposite because they're the same thing, right? But look at where the arrow is pointing. The arrow on this first one here is pointing to the top of the lighthouse. And the arrow on this one is pointing to the bottom of the lighthouse. So top and bottom are opposites. Look at these little faces we have over here. This one is smiling, or really big smile, and that's called laugh. Laughing. What would be the opposite of laughing? Let's look at the other one. He is crying. Laughing, crying are opposites. Here we have a rock and a soft chair. But the rock is what? Is it soft like the chair? No, it's hard. Hard and soft are opposite. Here we have cats. Here's one cat here and one cat here. This one we see very close because it's near. This one is where? Where is he? He's far away. So this one's near and this one's far. That's opposites. Here we have two trees. This is a tall tree. It's a palm tree, very tall. And this one's called a bonsai tree. He's very short. It doesn't grow very tall. Tall and short are opposites. Here we have a lollipop and lemon. The lollipop is, what does it taste like? What is this when you taste it? What does it taste? It tastes sweet. Very good. But if you taste a lemon, it's sour. Sweet and sour are opposites. Here we have a few more. On this list, we have two arrows. This one is pointing which way? Up. And this one is pointing down. Very good. Now we have two boxes. The boxes are the same. Well, one's a little bit lighter in color than the other, but that's not what's opposite about them. Let's look closely. This box is all taped up. It's closed. What would be the opposite of closed? Open. You open it up like this. And here we got two more faces like we had above. But this one is a happy face, and this one is the opposite of happy, sad. Good. Ice cube and coffee. You see the smoke coming out of the coffee because the temperature on that coffee is what? Hot, correct. And this is an ice cube. When you touch an ice cube, what's the temperature on the ice cube? Is it hot like the coffee? No, it's cold. Hot and cold are opposites. Here we have two different objects, but we're looking at how they move, how quickly they move. This is a bus, is going very fast. You see how it shows the speed of it by putting the lines like that? It's going fast. And this is a snail, and the snail is going how? Slow. It's moving, how they're moving. Fast and slow are opposites. And we have a tree and a flower. We're looking at the sizing of them. This one is big, but this one is small. And so last list we have here, and there's still many more opposites that we're going to be talking about. Here are people. This one is a boy, and this one is a girl. Boy and girl are opposites. The same because they're people, but opposite because one's a boy and one's a girl. Here we have two lights. This one is green and this one is red. Do you remember what they mean? When it's green, it means the cars can go. And when it's red, the opposite of go would be to stop. Here we have two balls. Here we have the beach ball is big, and this little tennis ball is What's the size of that? Small. Big and small are opposites. Then we have two pictures of outside. Here where the sun is shining, it's what time of the day? Daytime. And when we don't see the sun anymore and the moon and the stars are out, it's nighttime. This one's light, that one's dark. That's another way to say opposites. But this we call it day and night. Here's the same girl, but we see her here. She's facing us. That's the front of her. And then she turns around and we see the back of her. Front and back are opposites. And two cups, the same cups, but how are they different? One is full, has stuff in it all the way to the top, and the other one hasn't got anything in it. So we say it's empty. Full and empty are opposites. Now let's read and discover more about opposites. Are you ready? Okay. Here is a book that's called An Opposite Scavenger Hunt. What's a scavenger hunt? Do you know? That's when you go looking for things and find them, right? Sometimes you might have went on a scavenger hunt for Easter and you look for the Easter eggs that that bunny had, right? A scavenger hunt. We're going to look on each page and see what we find that are opposites. And this book is by Penelope S. Nelson. Not Nielsen, not me, Nelson. And she is do you know what we call the person who writes the book? That's right, the author. Okay, let's see what we could find on the scavenger hunt. Page. We see opposites every day. Opposites are two things that are different from each other in every way. Many things have opposites. Turn the page and see if you can find the opposites in this book. Okay. Opposites are things that share no similar traits. We sometimes call opposites antonyms. Opposites can be actions or verbs. To stop is the opposite of go. To go means to move. To stop means not to move at all. Traffic lights might be red. Red would mean to stop. Or they might be green. Green would mean to go. Which of these signs means the opposite of go? Well, this one is green and this one is green. So opposite of go would be red. Here we go. That means to stop, which is the opposite of go. To grow is the opposite of to shrink. When something grows, it gets bigger. When something shrinks, it gets smaller. To rise and fall are also verb opposites. When something rises, it's lifted higher. When something falls, it is dropped. So let's look at this page here. It says, which pair of images is an opposite? Well, we have a pear here and an apple here, and they're both cut in half. They're both fruit. I don't see anything opposite about them, right? But let's look over here. What about this? The balloon. And this balloon, she's blowing it up. She's filling it with air. And in this balloon, there's no air in it. So it's flattened out. It's deflated. Okay? This one's blown up. This one's deflated. Some opposites are adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe things. Wet and dry are adjectives. Wet is the opposite of dry. Excuse me. When something is wet, it is covered with liquid. When something is dry, it contains no liquid or a little bit of liquid. Here we have the two dogs. Which one is wet? That's right. This one looks like he's all dried up now. He was wet maybe, but this one might be wet because he has a towel on him. We're going to dry him up. Which of these things are opposite of dry? Okay, so let's look. Here we have some cereal with no milk in it. And which one is wet? This is the one that's wet, right? The milk in it, right? And this is not dry either. The sponge is now what? Wet, because there's water and soap on it. You can see it dripping, right? Continue. Temperature is also another way we could see opposites. Hot and cold are opposites. Something that is hot has a high temperature. Something that is cold has a low temperature. The ice is cold. Ice is frozen water. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But inside of this pot on the stove, don't touch it because it's very hot. Boiling water is going to make tea with that. And this is very, very hot. Boiling water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, where the ice is below 32 degrees. Which of these things are opposite of cold? Well, we have some cold things here. This one here, the snowmen are cold, and the ice cream is cold. Are these two cold? The sun shining is hot, or warm at least, and the fire is hot. So opposite of hot is cold. Big and small are also ways to describe things. They're called adjectives when you describe something. They are also opposites. Whales are big animals, but the bee is a small animal. Which pair or set of animals is an opposite? Here we have a set or a pair of guinea pigs. And here we have dogs. Which one are showing something opposite about them? Well, the guinea pigs look the same. They're the same size. They look like they're the same color, just a different combination, but the same color. Yeah, let's look at the dogs. Is there anything opposite about the dogs? Definitely. This one is a big dog, and this one is a little dog. Or you could even say in their height, this one is tall, and this one is short. Big, little, tall, short. You describe them. They're opposite. Fast is the opposite of slow. The fastest mammal in the world is a cheetah. Look how fast he's running there. Cheetahs can run up to 61 miles per hour. That's super fast. That's almost as fast as the car can go on the highway. The slowest mammal is the sloth. That's this animal here. Sloths move at a speed of only 1 mile per hour. They're really very lazy and slow. Which of these images shows opposite of fast? So we have a couple of things here. Which ones are fast and which ones are slow? The opposite of fast is slow. A motorcycle going slow? Is the rocket going slow? No, those are moving fast. But look at these two. The snail and the turtle, they move very slow. Fast and slow are opposites. Sometimes opposites are nouns. The way we see something, the person, place, or a thing is a noun. Day and night are nouns. They are opposite. They occur at different times. During the day, the sun is shining. At night, the sun sets and the moon comes out. Here you have two pictures of the city. Which one is daytime? This one here. And this is the opposite of daytime, and it's nighttime. The buildings are in the same spot. Everything's all in the same location, but one is day and one is night. Some opposites are preposition words. Those are words that describe where something is, the location of an object. In front and behind are prepositions. They are opposite. If an object is in front of you, it is located ahead of you. If an object is behind you, you have to turn your head to look at it. Let's look at these signs here. Which of these signs is an opposite pair? Say on this sign, we see all the arrows. This one's pointing up, this one's pointing up, this one's pointing to the side. It's not opposite because the opposite of up would be down. So let's look over here. Do we see opposites in this one? Here we go. This arrow's pointing up and this arrow's pointing down. That's opposites. Opposites are everywhere. Many things are opposites. We can find opposites everywhere we go, everything we look at. We can see opposites in many ways. Even if you go to the beach, you can find opposites. And that's what we learned about today, boys and girls, how many things in our life are opposites. And opposites, you remember what it means? Opposites means to, that's right, to describe something different from each other, ways that they are different. and you can see opposites everywhere. What I'd like for you to do today is look around your house and see if you can find some things that are opposite, where you describe them, how big they are, what they look like, where they're located. Maybe you have something you could put under your bed, and then you could put that same object over your bed. Under and over are opposites. Maybe you can find things that are big and small. Look around your house and find 2 or 3 things that are opposites. Take some pictures and send them to your teachers. Let us know how they're opposite. Or you could even just draw pictures of some things that are opposites. Mrs. Nielsen will also be sending you some worksheets so you could practice finding opposites and matching them together, seeing how they are opposites. Have fun looking for the opposites. Have a good day. Bye-bye now.